On a stormy night, a few passersby were talking in low voices at a tea stall located in a border town. Outside, the rainstorm was pouring down and the dim yellow lanterns on the street were swaying. Suddenly, an old man in a straw raincoat lowered his voice and unveiled a shocking news. The heaven-splitting order has appeared. Guangling Han family of 37 mouths all perished in one whole night. As soon as the words fell, the tea stall was plunged into dead silence, with only the sound of raindrops tapping on the window pane echoing. Right at this moment, a light cough broke the silence. In the corner, a traveler clad in a gray cloak slowly raised his head. His gaze was deep and calm, but it sent shivers down one's spine. Right at this moment, a group of strong men on horseback hurriedly arrived and quickly stopped in front of the tea stall. The strong man at the head, clad in soaked cotton armor, had a cold face and a murderous aura in his eyes. As soon as he stepped into the tea stall, he coldly scanned the surroundings with a heavy tone. Who is talking about the heaven-splitting order? The old man in straw raincoat's face suddenly paled. His hands trembled, but he was unable to speak. The burly man's gaze turned to the corner, staring at the gray-clothed traveler. He stepped closer and said in a cold voice, "You said it, didn't you?" The traveler lifted his head slightly. The unusual and unimpressive face was unremarkable, except for those eyes, which were as deep as pools of water and filled with an unspeakable, intimidating power. He responded in a low voice, "It's not me." The burly man's face sank, and in anger, he drew his sword and rose up, his blade glowing like snow, slashing towards the traveler. However, the moment the blade was about to fall, the traveler moved slightly and flicked his finger. In an instant, a cold light flashed, and the long knife in the burly man's hand snapped, instantly turning into several fragments. The strong man stayed in place, cold sweat pouring out, his eyes filled with panic and disbelief. "I told you, it wasn't me." The traveler slowly stood up and lifted a corner of his cloak, revealing the long, dark sword. The sword was not yet sheathed, but the air around him seemed to become oppressive, and a murderous aura filled the air. The strong man asked in a trembling voice, "Who is your honor?" A nameless person passing by. The traveler smiled blandly, casually placed the tea money on the table, turned around and walked out of the tea stall, disappearing into the rainy night. Inside the tea stall, the atmosphere remained stagnant. The rain gradually stopped, but the horrible heaven-splitting order still filled the air, becoming a nightmare in everyone's heart. The gray-clothed traveler seemed to have already embarked on a road of destiny from which there was no turning back. What does this mysterious symbol represent? Is it the starting point of the conspiracy, or is it a horrible ending? And the nameless traveler, what kind of secret is he carrying, and what kind of future is he heading for? Translated with Deep Elcom free version.